So the My Hero Academia anime lately. Now, one of the last times we talked about the My Hero Academia anime, in fact, I'd say one of the last times that it was really the topic of discussion amongst the entire anime community, was around the All for One versus All Might fight. No one can deny that that didn't grab everyone's attention. I just seen everybody talking about it. Of course, we talked about it over here. It was great content, awesome stuff. Even the aftermath episode where it was like, okay, what happens afterwards and dealing with the consequences. There was like probably 2 episodes after that where it was still like, okay, everybody's still hype about it, whatever. But there's no denying that the My Hero Academia anime, since the end of that arc, has not really been that big of a deal and not that talked about, and overall people aren't really going crazy like that since that ended. Honestly, since the end of the All for One fight and that arc in general, My Hero Academia has kind of been on the decline in terms of the anime's popularity over here in the West at the very least. I know in Japan the ratings are still doing decent, it's still top 10, which kudos, and I love seeing that. I love seeing new gems come out and really just do their thing and continue to be successful. It showcases that shonen anime and manga still, they're very relevant and very much so wanted and in demand. So good stuff for, Japan or whatever, but I could definitely see in the anime community and in general with people that My Hero just really isn't that much in demand as far as the anime goes for the latest stuff, the arc afterward, the exams that they're trying to do, the provisional licenses, if I'm not mistaken. That arc in particular is really not that big of a deal. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when I was reviewing the My Hero Academia manga back when that material came out, what had happened was because I've kind of been, just like y'all know me, I be terrible with it. Sometimes I'll drop a series for a bit, or not necessarily drop it, but I'll just basically kind of fall off of reviewing it, and then I'll jump back in. And I remember around that time, the All for One fight had just ended. I probably had like 10 chapters after that. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to start reviewing the My Hero Academia manga now. And I didn't know that that arc was actually starting up the provisional licenses arc. I was like, oh, okay, cool, new arc, whatever. And I'll never forget even in the manga, everyone said the same thing, and this is something that really makes me worry about the future of My Hero, at the very least for this season. I know probably next season we're going to have a really, really strong arc, a really awesome arc, but definitely for the remainder of the season, I can honestly say if we're going off of what happened in the manga, a lot of people lost interest. And one of the common things that people say in general about My Hero Academia, and we're going to talk about all of this, is the fact that after the All for One fight, it has never reached that climax. People say that that was the climax of it. It hasn't gotten as good. It hasn't even gotten close to as good, which I'll tell you right now, that's false. There's definitely been an arc in between all of this that was really good, and one of the latest arcs as well has been pretty awesome, but it was a short arc. But no, there's definitely great stuff in My Hero Academia. But let's address, for starters, the fact that the All for One fight was the climax, so to speak, and My Hero Academia since then hasn't been able to reach that peak. I would definitely say that as far as exciting and as, dangerous and as story changing or whatever, that almost felt, and I don't know if the author ever said this is just my own words, I'm not saying that this is fact or anything, but that definitely felt as though it was like a halfway point, as early as that feels, because it's only season 3, and of course we know shonen anime tend to run for seasons upon seasons, episodes upon episodes, whatever, but that definitely was like a turning point in the story. So if you think of it in terms of like other shonen, for example, even though obviously it's not the same situation, but that's kind of like what I feel anyway, the Naruto versus Sasuke ending part 1 type of situation, because a lot of things changed after that. All Might was no longer, the All Might, the hero. Everybody knew his secret. Deku really has to step up and man up. He knows now that the great hero that inspired him can no longer save his butt, when things get bad. So a lot of things changed since then. And if we're looking at it in that aspect of like, yo, this is a game-changing thing, then yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to touch that spot, because since then it's like, okay, we're gearing back up. Obviously My Hero Academia a bit different from a lot of the other shonen we have that are in these fantastical worlds and these fantastical adventures, Bleach and Soul Society, this crazy thing. Of course we go to the human world from time to time, but a lot of the time we're in the Soul Society, we're in the Huecamundo with Bleach, in Naruto we're in these ninja villages, One Piece we're traveling the world on the seas, pirates and all sorts of stuff. My Hero is taking our world and then throwing superhero superheroes in it, but they still got to go to school and stuff like that. So you're going to have times where it's like, okay, back to school, back to normalcy. I mean, even classic series, one of my all-time, in fact, probably my all-time favorite series of all time. Yeah, all-time favorite series of all time. Yeah, do what you will with that. But Yu Yu Hakusho, there was even points, granted, they wouldn't stretch it long, but where Yusuke and Kuwabara and the main cast were back at school. And the difference is, back then, with like a series like that, it would drive Yusuke crazy. Like, oh my god, how am I supposed to readjust to life like this when I just went on these crazy adventures and I want to keep on fighting or whatever. But with My Hero, it's the norm. It's like, okay, back to school. So you're going to have those arcs. The problem with it is, as shonen anime fans, we don't necessarily all the time want long stretches of that. I think getting a couple episodes of that is fine, back to school, whatever. But when it's integrated in the form that My Hero likes to do it, sometimes it can work. Like when we had the sports festival arc, even though that was inside of the school or whatever, it was really exciting and interesting. It felt like a tournament. So that worked, even though it was confined within the realms of like, yo, we're at school. But the provisional license exam, I think one of the things as well is looking at it, it feels as though it's another training, trying to, you know what I'm saying? It kind of feels more practice in a sense, which My Hero Academia has quite a bit of that, where it's like, okay, they training, they got to go to the next level. But again, you always got to keep in mind, academia, school, this is still based in school. There's superheroes, but these kids got to go to school, right? So you always got to keep that in mind when you're checking the series out. And sometimes it can be frustrating. Sometimes it's like, yo, I don't care that they in school. Like, can we break out of this for a bit? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the issues as well with My Hero Academia as a shonen series, is that people don't always, especially when you go from gigantic climaxes like the All for One fight to go into this provisional exam, and I felt the same way when I was reviewing the manga, it's just like night and day. It's like from an incredible dangerous situation to, oh, some new characters, oh, there's a little bit here or there, whatever. And that's probably one of the other reasons why the My Hero Academia anime has kind of felt like it's not necessarily as hype or even close to what it was just, an arc ago in the anime right now. So that's another reason. And honestly, I will say though, and I will defend, and again, we'll see this in probably season 4 of My Hero Academia, there is another arc. It probably, I would argue it's very, very close to All for One. Some could say it's better. I'm not even going to spoil any of what that arc's name is or whatever, but there's definitely a season 4 an arc that comes pretty damn close to the All for One fight. So in general, as a whole, the series, for people to say that, no, there's nothing like that comes close and All for One's fight, like after that is downhill, nah, I totally can't rock with that. I completely disagree. So for anime only viewers, you might not like, and honestly, I don't think that season 3, the second half of it is going to come even close to the All for One fight. But that's one of the issues that My Hero Academia is always going to face, the fact that it's a school setting. Unless they ditch the school setting, which I highly doubt they'll ever do that unless they do a sequel of some sorts, like, it's always going to have that problem where when it's back to the downtime stuff, it's going to get a bit slow and it's going to frustrate people, and a lot of people might not necessarily like it. And of course, it's going to make the popularity decline a little bit because people are just like, yo, I didn't sign up to see these kids in school and taking these exams, although some of it, honestly, I rock with it. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious what you guys think about a lot of this, though. For starters, how do you feel about My Hero Academia's anime since the All for One arc, the All for One versus All Might fight and all that stuff? Do you feel as though it's declined? Do you feel as though it's not as interesting? I'd definitely say it's not as interesting. I definitely say popularity-wise, I can see the decline as well. Overall, the second half of My Hero Academia, this is the one time, and I normally don't say this, but this is the one time where I honestly say it probably would have been better off, for the sake of the series, to have done a 12 episode season, wrap it up with that, start off the new season, with that, okay, it's a little bit slow with the provisional exams, and then bam, jump into something really, really hype, leave it off on a cliffhanger, because doing a series in this fashion and splitting it down the middle of an amazing, incredible arc, the peak of the series, and then just, it's alright for the second half, is definitely going to make the series look a little funny. People are going to be looking at it like, is My Hero really that great? It does have incredible stuff to come, but we're gonna have to wait a while because I don't know when we're gonna get season 4. Hopefully next year, but who knows how long it's gonna be as well. And that's something that makes me worry, is like, could the popularity decline to the point of risking us getting a season 4? I highly doubt that, because My Hero is one of the top selling manga, and again, the ratings for the anime have been pretty popular. But hopefully the decline in talks and everything of My Hero Academia for season 3 won't affect us having a season 4, because again, there's really amazing stuff to come, and season 4 deserves a 24 episode run. But we just gotta wait and see. And your overall thoughts and expectations for My Hero Academia. Again, do you feel as though, since the All for One fight as a series for manga readers and anime viewers, that it hasn't peaked since then? And for anime only viewers, how do you feel about the second half of the anime since the All for One fight? Do you feel as though it's not that good, or it's not as good? I mean, again, in the manga, I can tell you right now, a lot of people weren't feeling that arc. I wasn't even really that excited about the provisional exams arc. So yeah, that's my take on the My Hero Academia anime lately. But that is all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit the bell to get all notifications. And if you want to check out all my other social media, they're in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day.
We making major moves, laughing at the haters lose. We don't give a fuck.